Welcome to sixth grade history. This is lesson 156. We're going to be looking at pages 311 to 315. Jumping into South America and all that it has to offer. As you can see, there's lots of words. There were plenty of things to talk about. This is mostly a list of animals and a couple things that are a couple of geographical locations, and then just a couple of natural resources. But most of this list is animals. So that won't, we'll go through those fairly fast. All right, first of all, let me just see, you're gonna have the comprehension check on page 315 to do on paper, but there isn't homework for this lesson, so we'll just look through this. All right, so if you go and look at the map on page 313, I want you to locate let's see. I'm sorry, I lost what I was looking for. Okay, so find the Andes Mountains. Okay, find the Andes Mountains. All right, it runs along the backside of South America and it curves around, and it's bigger letters, right? Okay, find the Brazilian Highlands. And then there's also Guiana Highlands. Okay, Brazilian Islands are southern Brazil, not the very bottom of it, but right below the tip, the tip that juts out that way. The Guiana Highlands are there up below Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, and then near French Guiana. Okay, and then south of Guiana Highlands, you will see the mighty Amazon River Basin. Okay, so the Amazon River and then the Amazon River Basin. Find two other lowland areas. Okay, so these are, they don't say lowlands, but they're just gonna have a couple names. So find some lowlands, what you think are the lowlands. So there's Gran Chaco, it's between Argentina and Paraguay, and the Pampas that are in Argentina, so south of Argentina, and right next to Mount Aconcagua is the Pampas. Can you find the Atacama Desert along the coast of Chile? Okay, yep, there. On top of Chile there, the Atacama Desert. Did you know that the Atacama Desert is the driest place on Earth? It rarely receives a trace of rain. Okay. What would you say? If you were asked, what would you say would be the most valuable natural resource in South America? Okay, those are probably decent answers, but if you were to ask a South American, he would probably tell you soil, because the rich black soil of the Pampas areas is some of the best in the world, okay? So that is a little bit about that. South America is the fourth largest continent. It's about twice the size of the United States. The equator passes through the wide region in the northern area of South America, and most of the continent lies between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn in the torrid zone. Thus, The lowland regions of much of South America have year-round tropical temperatures. The southern tip of South America, however, is just 600 miles from Antarctica and consequently has a very cold climate. Because South America is located mainly south of the equator, its seasons are opposite those of the United States and Canada. Summer is from December to March and winter is from June to September. We had talked about that with Australia. All right, so there are 12 independent nations in South America. There are Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Guyana, Suriname, Paraguay, Peru, Uruguay, Venezuela, and then one overseas department of France, and that's French Guiana, okay? They vary in size from Brazil, which is as big as the continental US, and to French Guiana, which is about the size of Indiana, okay? All right, and so we've located some things on the map. The Andes Mountains is the longest and second highest mountain range in the world. It extends from Cape Horn north for more than 5,500 miles to the Caribbean coast. Did you know that if it was stretched out straight, it would go from it could be from San Francisco, from the US San Francisco all the way across the US to London, across the ocean, okay? So the Andes Mountains, if it was stretched out, would be that long. But of course it is not, it is in South America. Mount Aconcagua is the tallest, the highest mountain in the Western Hemisphere. Can you see how high it is on the map? It tells you how many feet it is. 22,834 feet. Only the Himalayan mountains of northern India and Tibet are higher than this, than this mountain and the other mountains. This is the highest mountain in the Western Hemisphere. You know, something interesting about the Andes Mountains is it's not a range of mountains, really. It's more like, it's not a single line of peaks, but a collection of mountain ranges with intervening plateaus and depressions. So it has very much drastic height of different parts of it, and therefore there's much difference of the climate. So some parts would have year-round snow. Some parts would be more of a tropical or a hot, the tropical temperatures, okay? And then of course precipitation would vary quite a bit in those mountains. The islands that are near South America that surround it, you've got the archipelago that's on the bottom. The Tierra del Fuego is that archipelago. The largest island in the group is separated from the mainland by the Strait of Magellan. Then you've got the Falkland Islands and the South Georgia Islands in the Atlantic Ocean. And then much farther north, you have the Galapagos Islands and Easter Island in the Pacific Ocean. And so those are some of those islands. And then we're getting into all of our animals, okay? You have the tapir, and the tapir. It's a hog-like mammal. It doesn't grow much bigger than a pony. They have 1/4 of all known kinds of animals, but they don't have any huge animals, okay? So this one, no bigger than a pony. Its biggest threat is the jaguar, okay? This is the tapir is the largest animal in South America, and the jaguar is the largest cat, and so that's its greatest enemy. You have the capybara, that's the largest rodent in the world. It's 4 feet long, weighs 100 pounds, so some of your younger siblings would be close to that. You've got the spectacled bear, so it's got some markings on its face and head. That's why it's called the spectral bear. It's the only bear in the world that lives south of the equator. There's the two-toed sloth, and it doesn't walk. So it spends most of its time in the trees upside down. So it does come down sometimes, but because it hangs upside down most of the time, its hair parts in the middle of the underside. The giant anteater eats an average of 30,000 ants and termites a day, okay? It uses its sticky tongue to take all of those in. And there's 4 types of camel-like animals. We have the alpacas, guanaco, llama, and vicuñas, I believe. Okay, we'll get to that. Okay, alpacas are raised for their wool. They live in the mountains of Peru and Bolivia. Guanacos are wild animals that live in the Andes. A lot of these camel-like mammals will spit if they're upset at something. And so that's one of those things. Llamas are the largest South American camels. They're used as the pack animals. And then the vicuñas, yes, those are another camel-like. They are wild, and they were actually once hunted because of their fine wool, almost to the brink of extinction, which is really sad. The llamas have an interesting thing. If they think their pack is too heavy, or if they think they've gone far enough, they'll just sit down and you can't get them up. The anaconda, largest snake, we've kind of hit on that. The largest one was 28 feet long, 44 inches around, and is estimated to weigh over 500 pounds. Okay, you got the Galapagos giant turtles. They're the oldest living creatures. They can live over 100 years, weighing 300, some even up to 500 pounds, all right? Piranhas, they're bloodthirsty fish of the Amazon. They eat the flesh of animals. They usually attack small animals, ones that are almost dying, but they have been known to bite off fingers of fishermen that get careless. And so you want to be careful. But even there, people will bathe and swim in the piranha-infested water, but they have to be careful not to go in with cuts. The birds that we see in there, the Andean condor. This one is the largest flying land bird in the Western Hemisphere. The cock of the rock is a handsome bird. You see the picture there with its orange or red feathers. It's in the rainforest. There's the macaw, and it's a beautifully colored. Blues, reds, yellows, and greens are the colors of the feathers. And so these animals, you've probably heard of most of them. Some of them they might be new. The vicuñas probably are new to most of you, and probably the guanacos. And some of those other ones you might not have heard of yet. But those are animals that make their home in South America. Okay. Some of the natural resources that they have, of course, their soil we talked about, but they're also, the volcanic soil is good for growing coffee. They are one of it's the world's greatest, the greatest banana producing region in the world is in South America. So bananas, they need a hot, moist climate to grow well, and so they thrive there. Petroleum is also another important natural resource, but they export most of it. And a lot of their supply of electricity is actually hydroelectricity from all their rivers and waterfalls. But they also have copper, iron ore, nitrates, tin, and emeralds. They're abundant in the Andes and the Eastern Highlands. And then there's fishing off the coast, the West Coast. So there is lots and lots that you're going to read about. So I'm going to let you go ahead and read pages 211 all the way to 215 at that comprehension check, and then do that on paper. And I will see you in the next lesson.